Thank you for this opportunity. I've had a couple of experiences recently. One, I came out and someone had hit my car. And then when I got my car back, I was driving down the street. And actually in this case, I had a thought. I received the thought, boom. And I thought, I don't have time for boom. So I really need to figure a way to soothe this thought. And I thought, I have time to go get gas and get back to work. And I don't have time for boom. So slow down and drive more carefully. And just as I'm passing the last car to turn into the gas station, I hear boom and feel a tug on my car. And someone had opened their door and it clipped my bumper as I was passing him. Sorry, let me just breathe. So I was thinking, the timing of that was so precise. Is the universe trying to tell me something? Is this supposed to be my reaction?
Well, the thing is, trying to figure out what caused something is so counterproductive, because the whole time you're perusing it, you're offering a vibration about it, which is carving out a thought path to more of it. And so, what is true preventative medicine? What is true preventative of accidents driving? What is it? Well, it's anticipating things the way you want them to be rather than trying to protect yourself from things that are not the way you want them to be. So we have a question for you. What's your boom got to do with the nose of Esther's Cadillac?
Well, I was thinking that, is it how she responded, because she doesn't have multiple accidents. Somebody hit her car when she wasn't there, which was my first experience. And she obviously is still loving her car. I certainly appreciated my car when it came back and it was fine. I'm wondering, is this like when Esther used to have door problems in the RV? Do I have a car problem I have to try and clean up so that I don't keep booming it?
Well, yeah, for sure. There are two ways to know what you're pointed at. One is by the way you feel while you're pointing, and the other is what happens as a result of your pointing. The manifestation shows you where you've been pointing, and the feeling now shows you where you are pointing. So the key is to care more about being satisfied so that you do a better job of pointing rather than waiting until you've pointed and pointed and pointed and now it's manifested, which is way harder to get over it. What we would encourage you to do is not try to live such a perfect life that nobody bumps your car. Not try to live such a perfect life that you never take the bounce from anything. And don't spend so much time trying to figure out how this happened and how this happened and this happened. Just acknowledge where you want to go from here. Esther took her car to the Cadillac agency. She hadn't taken it in before. She also had a service light that had been on for a couple of weeks, and so she was waiting until she had a period of time. And it was the most pleasant experience of getting there. They took it. They gave her another car. She said, I'm going to be gone for the weekend. Can I bring it back on Monday? They said, that's just about the right time. Everything just flowed. She got to meet 10 new people. And so, as far as Esther was concerned, nothing went wrong. And that's the way we would like you to feel about everything. Nothing went wrong because at the very worst, it gave you a bounce. And at the very best, it gave you a really fun bounce. The universe isn't out to get you, and you're not here to prove goodness in the face of a lot of stuff going wrong. And that's a little bit what you feel like, just a little bit. A lot of deliberate creators feel that way. When you're just trying to get this right, and you want to be a deliberate creator, and so when something isn't exactly the way you would have chosen it to be, and we want it to be as simple as, is that satisfying or not? Is that satisfying or not? Well, not really, but it doesn't need to get any bigger than that. And we would like you to feel the insignificance of everything, just it's satisfied or not satisfied. But because you don't do that, because you make bigger deals of little things than they deserve, hear this. You make bigger deals of little things than they deserve, then your satisfaction factor gets left further and further behind. So it's a bigger deal about this, and a bigger deal about this, and a bigger deal about this, and before you know it, you don't feel very loved, you don't feel very blessed, you don't feel very secure, you don't feel very sure. You erode your relationship with your inner being incorrectly. You let things that happen, you evaluate them as, I must not be doing something right, or this wouldn't have happened. And then that statement that you make to yourself that I must not be doing something right further hinders your ability to receive communication from your inner being. So the worse it gets, the worse it gets, the worse it gets, the worse it gets.
So when it happens, you go, well, I must have been a vibrational match to it happening, makes it worse, because then you're trying to figure out how am I going to soothe this versus a long time ago, you told a story about the paint and metal, where the RV makes them wrong turn and it rips the side up, and the woman steps out and says, "Well, it's just paint and metal." And that response changes.
You really want to minimize what goes wrong and maximize what's going right. You really want to isolate and identify and milk the satisfying moments and spend no time on the unsatisfying moments. But humans sort of do it the other way around because you think you're problem solvers. We have a really important announcement that we'd like to make to you. You are not problem solvers. You're not problem solvers. You're solution finders, maybe, but we want to go back. You're not problem solvers. The universe solves the problem. In your awareness of what you do not want, you're problem identifiers and solution creators in concert with the universe that will continue the evolution of the solution. And can you feel how a solution to a problem is what evolution is about? And that without a problem, there would be no evolution. There would be no expansion. There would be no motion forward. Does that make sense to you? And so, just lighten up. Don't try to remember everything that we've ever said to every person about everything. Just be where you are and let whatever you're living now help you to identify what you want and do your best to point that away. Not just with your finger, but with your mind and with your words and with your expectation, with your vibration. Point in the direction of what you want. And before you know it, your satisfaction factor will be so complete that somebody can bump your car and who cares? It's just paint and metal. And an opportunity to go to the Cadillac agency where they're really, really nice to you or to wherever else. But Esther doesn't have some of the shortage consciousness that some people have. Her shortage consciousness is more about time than it is about anything else. But since she's been looking for satisfying in this and satisfying in that, time is yielding more and more and more to her. And so you can accomplish so much in such a little bit of time. You know something that Esther says on a really regular basis to herself? When she finds herself leaning ever so slightly toward a little dissatisfaction. It's usually about time. She will say to herself, Esther, what could be more fun than being right here, right now, with all of the opportunities that this moment in time is offering? Really, what do you want to do? You want to go home and watch television? You want to go sit by yourself in a corner somewhere? You want to be out interacting with people? You want to be someplace where people can show you their excellence? When you let yourself out where people can show you their excellence, you're glad you had a reason to go there where they can show you their excellence. So nothing's ever going wrong. Everything's always going right. And if you're looking for the right in the wrong you're living, if you're looking for the satisfied in the unsatisfying, then you get it all cleaned up so fast. So what happened to your car? Somebody knocked the mirror off of it?
The bumper, the corner bumper piece sheared off and it pulled my back bumper.
All right, so make that unsatisfying statement.
I wish I hadn't slowed down so he wouldn't have done it. No.
Okay, so this happened and I didn't like it and I'm blaming myself.
Yeah. Well, it could have been that if I hadn't slowed down, it would have been a worse accident. And so I'm not even sure anymore.
But play our silly game.
Okay, sorry. Well, unsatisfied. I have to go get the car fixed.
I have to go get the car fixed. Unsatisfying statement. I have to go get the car fixed. Don't get carried away with that thought flow. Instead, ask yourself, is there anything satisfying about this?
The two sides of my car are going to both have brand new bumper pieces.
What else?
I'm going to give the people at the body shop an opportunity to show me their good work so I find a good body shop if I ever need one again.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. I might have a nice rental car while it's being fixed.
Yeah, pretty satisfying. It's more than what you were doing. Something satisfying. I have the means to do this, and I'm a wise girl and I know what to do, and I can get this done. This is something in life that I'm quite good at. and I'm good at tending to things, and always in the process something good comes out of it, and I actually like interacting with people. Aren't those legitimate, satisfying statements that you could make? And so here's our question. If something happened that gave you a reason to make a whole list of things that satisfy you, was it worth it? Wait. Was it worth it? Is it worth it that life caused me to focus toward my well-being? Was it worth it? And how do I know? How do I know I'm out of my lane until I'm out of my lane? And whatever causes me to focus in the direction of who I really am, isn't that a good thing? How else you going to become a chronically satisfied person or a mostly satisfied person if things don't give you a reason to focus? But you see, if you're lackadaisical in life, as most are, and you're just taking the boom as it comes, and then you're talking about the boom, and then you're getting another boom, and then you're talking about the boom, and then you're getting another boom, and then you're talking about the boom, and you're getting another boom, until you've had so many booms that you finally just can't take it anymore, and then you just say, I give up. In other words, that's what eventually comes. You just get weary of all of the negative attraction. That's sort of what's happening in the climate of your planet, your emotional planet. You've just been boom, 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 until many of you are just saying, I just don't want to think about that anymore. But you could have been finding satisfaction, 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 if you'd known the benefit of it, if someone had convinced you of the benefit of it. If you are a creator, that means you are a chooser. And if you are a chooser, you have to have choices. And our friend was sort of implying just a little bit, we didn't get that deep into the conversation, maybe we can have some more dialogue later, that sometimes when things are so lovely, you get a little complacent because your choices don't seem so dynamic. And you really like choices. You really like obvious choices. But here's what we wish for you. We don't want so much unwanted to come that the wanted choices are obvious. A lot of people live like that. Things get so bad that then they know what they really want. When you really know what you don't want, you really know what you do want. We don't want the choices to have to get so big that it's obvious. We want your discernment of satisfaction to just become more and more refined. We want you to become connoisseurs of satisfaction in the same way that you become connoisseurs of wine. You get so you know the good stuff, and you know the subtle differences between what they are, and you know what blends with what and what's enhanced with what food. In other words, you get so good at being connoisseurs of that. Why not become an expert or a connoisseur of what satisfaction is? Why not ask of the universe not just one satisfying thing to converge, but 15 or 20 or 30 or 40 satisfying things to converge all at once? Why not ask for your satisfaction to be ecstasy? Why not ask for your satisfaction to feel like being the most blessed person on the planet? Why not let your feeling of satisfaction evolve to the state where you feel like you can be or do or have anything that you desire, and that all you need to do is point, all you want to do is point, and that the universe is responsive to you because it is, you see. Ooh, we so like it. When you're teaching someone or learning yourself how to ride a bicycle, don't you want to get out of balance? How do you find your balance if you don't know what imbalance is? How do you know how to effectively take those curves and how fast you can take them if you don't crash and burn every now and again? How do you learn what you're capable of if you don't have some things that show you that you could shore this up in some way or another? Life is supposed to be fun, and minus or absent the self-judgment, it would be every step of the way. We say to you, you are an extension of source energy. You are liquid love. Your inner being is always with you, and you are here to create. And you say, I hope I get it right. And we say, that's not why we told you that. You're not on trial here. You're not here to get it right. You're not being measured about anyone else. You're here for your own self-evolvement, for your own self-discovery, for your own experience of discovering something new that you didn't even really realize that you wanted until the cooperative components all came together and you received enough clarity that you saw it in a way that you'd never seen it before. Most of you don't even let yourself want what you really want because you don't really believe that you can have it, and so you're guarded against being disappointed, so you hold back. But you're going to come to a place, and not far from now, where there will not be anything that you're not willing to allow yourself to have. And then the game becomes, what is more satisfying? What's the most satisfying thing that I can think of? What would be really satisfying to do here and now? Or who would I like to do it with? Or where would I go? How would it feel? Life will give you anything that you ask for that you don't block. There's nothing out of reach, ever.